Now, dear student of class 11, today also I'm going to continue with the complex number. Now, your question is question number 9.3. If a plus ib is equals to c plus over c plus id equals to p plus iq, prove that p square plus q square is equals to a square plus b square over c square plus d square. Now, sir, how to tackle this kind of questions? Now, sir, first the given complex number is, since the given complex number is a plus ib over c plus id equals to p plus iq. For this kind of problem, I'll consider this given equation, let it be equation number 1, then I'll calculate its conjugate. It's a method that you have to remember. Therefore, its conjugate complex number, therefore its conjugate complex number is, its conjugate means what, how to calculate the conjugate. You just have to change the sign of imaginary, that is a minus ib over c minus id is equals to p minus iq. Now in this way we can calculate the conjugate. How to calculate the conjugate? We just have to change the sign of imaginary number. Now then, equation 1 into equation 2, that you have to multiply, that is a plus ib over c plus id into a minus ib over c minus id equals to p plus iq into p minus iq. Now everything is in terms of formula over here. In the numerator, it is in terms of a plus b into a minus b. Then the formula is a square minus b square over here also it is also in terms of formula c square minus id whole square. Right hand side quantity is also in terms of formula a plus b into a minus b. It is p square minus iq whole square. Now then it is a square minus I square b square over c square minus I square d square is equals to p square minus I square q square. Then I'll substitute the value of I. The value of I is minus 1. It will be plus b square. Then c square, I square is minus 1. It will be plus d square is equals to p square plus q square. Therefore, this proved p square plus q square is equals to a square plus b square over c square plus d square. Now this is proved. Now the next topic is find the square root of a given complex number, and this concept is very important. Now try to understand this concept. Now to find the square root, that you have to convert the given complex number in terms of 450 square form, that is in terms of a plus b whole square. And the formula of a plus b whole square is a square plus b square plus 2ab. Then a minus b whole square is equals to a square plus b square minus 2ab. Now try to understand the concept how to calculate the square root of this quantity. Now say, first of all, 3 plus 4i. Now from this I containing term, that you have to extract this quantity, 2ab or minus 2ab. It is plus means I'll use first formula 2ab. Now from 4i I'll calculate 2ab. Now say 3 plus 4 means we can break 2 into 2 into I. That means this is 2, this is a, and this one is b. Let us suppose 2ab. Now sum of the square of a and b must be equals to 3. Now say, I'll consider this a is 2 and b is I. Then it should be 3. A square plus b square. Is it equals to 3 or not? 2 square is 4. I square is minus 1. That is equals to 3. 2 square plus I square is equals to 3. Then in place of this 3, can I write 2 square plus I square? What you'll get? Instead of 3, if I write 2 square plus I square, 2 square is 4, I square is minus 1. What will get? 3. Indirectly we are writing 3 over here. Plus 2 AB. Now it is in terms of formula. A square plus B square plus 2AB means we can write A plus B whole square. Now, after converting the given complex number in terms of perfect square, then we can calculate the square. Therefore, the square root is, then I'll put plus minus, then on the root this quantity, 2 plus I whole square. Root and square get cancelled, then the perfect square root will be 2 plus I is the square root of this complex number. Next question, question number 10.1. Now the given complex number is in the form of minus 2i. That means it is given actually 0 minus 2i is 2i. Now that it is negative, so I'll use this formula. 0 minus 2ab. Or we can write 2ab. Now say 2a is 1, b is I. So sum of the square of these two quantity must be equals to 0. Then if I write 1 square plus I square, what will get? 1 square is 1, I square is minus 1. Cancel, it is 0. Then in place of 0 we can write 1 square plus I square minus 2ab. Now again this is in terms of formula. Which formula? A square plus b square minus 2ab means it is a minus b whole square. After converting the given complex number in terms of perfect square, then we'll write the square root. Therefore, the square root is, put by plus minus on the root whole square. Root and square get cancelled. It is 1 minus I is the square root. Now, minus 5 plus 12i, this is a given complex number. To calculate the square root of this quantity, minus 5 plus 12i. Now then, first of all, I'll try to find 2ab. 2a is 2 into 6 is 12 into I. But if I square, 6 square is 36, I square is minus 1. 36 minus 1 is 35, but we must have minus 5 over here. Again, we can break this quantity. 2 into 6, 3 2s are 6. 2i in this way. 2ab. I'll consider this one is a, this is b. Then, but we must have negative value. Then, to calculate the negative value, always that you have to write I together with the bigger number. Then, if I write 2 into 3i, we can write 3 2s are 6, 6 2s are 12. Now then, square of this two quantity must be equals to minus 5. That's it. 2 square plus 3i whole square plus 2ab. The sum of the square of a and b must be equals to minus 5. Now say 2 square plus of 3i whole square. Is it minus 5? 2 square is 4. 3 square is 9 into I square. Therefore, the value of I square is minus 1. It is minus 9. 4 minus 9 is minus 5. We are getting minus 5 over here. Then a square plus b square plus 2ab would be 2a plus b whole square. Therefore, the square root is plus minus on the root 3i whole square. Answer is 2 plus 3i. This is the square root, and this concept is important for 2 marks. Now the student, another topic is cube root of unity. Cube root of unity. The cube root of unity means the third root of 1. Unity means 1. In this case, when you calculate, the proving is not required. You just remember the cube roots of unity are 1 omega omega square. 1 omega square are the cube roots of unity. You just keep in your mind 1 omega square are called the cube roots of unity, and sum of the cube roots of unity, sum of the cube roots of unity, that is 1 plus omega square is always equals to 0. Sum of the cube roots of unity equals to 0. Now say sum of the cube roots of unity equals to 0, then the value we can calculate from this 1 plus omega is equals to minus omega square. From this relation, you just have to remember this relation. 1 plus omega is equals to minus omega square, then 1 plus omega square is equals to minus omega. From this master formula, we can derive these two formulas, and in numerical, we can use all the three formulas: cube roots of unity and product of the cube roots of unity. Product of the cube roots of unity means 1 into omega square. That is, product of the cube root of unity is always equals to 1. 1 into omega square is omega cubed equals to 1. And these two properties that I am going to apply numerically. Now the question application. Now 1 minus omega square, 1 minus omega to the power 4, 1 minus omega to the power 8 equals to 9. This you have to prove. Then this question is important. Left hand side, 1 minus omega square, 1 minus omega to the power 4, 1 minus omega to the power 8. And you just, dear student, you just keep in your mind how to solve this kind of numericals. You know about these things. The value of omega cubed is 1. In case of higher power, more than 3, if the power is more than 3, always try to convert the higher power of omega in terms of omega cubed. This is omega, no need to change. This is omega square, no need. But these two quantities, omega to the power 4 and omega to the power 8, it is more than 3. Then I'll convert this to quantity in terms of omega cube form. Now then we'll write this 1 minus omega square, then 1 minus omega to the power 4 means we can write omega cubed into omega, that is omega to the power 4. Similarly, omega to the power 8, omega cubed into omega cubed, 3 plus 3, 6 into omega square. You can write this way. 8 means omega cubed into omega square is omega to the power 8. Now then I'll use value 1 minus omega into 1 minus omega square. The value of omega cube is 1. That is 1 minus 1 into omega is omega into 1 minus, this is 1, this is also 1. 1 into 1, 1, 1 into omega square is omega square. Now we have the square of these two quantities over here. Now say 1 minus omega into 1 minus omega is 1 minus omega whole square. Then 1 minus omega square into 1 minus omega square is 1 minus omega square whole square. Both the quantities has square over here. Now we can write both the quantities within one square. Whole square we can write. Now then I'll multiply these two quantities. Algebraic multiplication. 1 into 1, 1. 1 minus omega square, it is omega square. Then minus omega. Minus into minus plus omega cubed whole square. 1. Now, and always remember, don't take omega common. From these two expressions, minus is common. I'll take minus common from these two. If I take minus common, then omega plus omega square will get over here. Then omega cube is 1 whole square. Now using another property, 1 plus omega square equals to 0. Then omega plus omega square equals to minus 1. Can I apply this one? 1 minus of omega plus omega square is minus 1 plus 1 whole square. Now then 1 minus into minus plus. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3 square. 3 square is 9, and this is equals to right hand side. Always try to remember, always keep in your mind, higher power that you have to convert in terms of omega cube. Now question number 12.2. The question is, now then I'll take left hand side LHS 1 minus omega to the power 4 plus omega to the power 8 into 1 minus omega to the power 8 plus omega to the power 16 equals to 4. Now over here also the higher power that I'm going to convert in terms of omega cubed. 1 minus omega to the power 4 means we can write omega cubed into omega. Omega to the power 8 means we can write omega cubed whole square. 3 to the 6 into omega square into again 1 minus omega to the power 8. I'll write omega cubed whole square, again 3 to the 6 into omega square, plus now this one is omega cubed to the power 5. 5 3 is a 15. The 16 is there into omega. This way you can simplify the omega. The value of omega cubed is 1. 1 minus omega cubed is 1. It is omega. Omega cubed is 1. 1 square is 1. 1 into omega square is plus omega square. Then 1 minus omega cubed is 1. Omega square plus 1 to the power 5 is 1. It is omega. Now then I'll write the positive quantities together. 1 plus omega square minus omega into 1 plus omega minus omega square. We already did this test. Now again 1 plus omega square equals to 0. Now from this relation, then what will be the value of 1 plus omega square? 1 plus omega square means definitely we'll get 1 plus omega square means minus omega minus omega. Then 1 plus omega, from this 1 plus omega is that you have to bring over here. This minus omega square. 2 omega into minus 2 omega square. Then multiplication. Minus into minus plus 2 to the 4. Omega square into omega is omega cubed. And the value of omega cubed is 1. 1 into 4 is 4. And this is equals to right hand side. Now another concept, I'll take left hand side, question related to omega. 2 minus omega plus 2 omega square into 2 plus 2 omega minus omega square equals to 9. Now then first of all I'll write positive quantity together. Now these two quantities are together. Now then I'll take 2 common, which is 1 plus omega minus omega square. Again from this two also I'll take 2 common. One plus omega square. Now so using the same property, 1 plus omega square equals to 0. And what will be the value of 1 plus omega square? 1 plus omega square is 2 into minus omega minus omega. And similarly 2 into 1 plus omega. 1 plus omega is minus omega square. Minus 2 omega minus omega into minus 2 omega square minus omega square. Now then this is minus 3 omega into minus 3 omega square. Minus into minus plus 2 3 is a 9 omega cubed. 9 omega cubed means 9 into 1, that is 9. This is equals to 4. Now with this numerical, the concept of complex number is clear. Now from next video I'll solve some miscellaneous questions. Thank you for today.